Hey everybody, this is Perch. Here's a mail where the viewer is about to talk about ways creators can connect with fans. And I actually think there probably deserves a lot more attention on this, a lot more focus on ways creators can do this. I think that a lot of creators would be into it if they had easier ways to do it. But let's get to this mail, see what it says. It says, "Hey Perch, I love your show. I love that you don't take yourself too seriously. One question I have is why don't you boot Mumbles from the channel? The guy is a prick who never gets off your back. I don't know why you put up with it. He's just a troll. Try and ignore him." Okay, trying to. So, no, I, all right. So I don't believe Mumbles is doing a bit now. I'm sure nobody's going to like this show constantly, and a lot of it's kind of rambling and other stuff. We hit the same topics a lot of the time. The audio is shit awful. I mispronounce things on a regular basis. In my head I was going, make sure you say lol cow, and then I start pronouncing it lol cow, which got a lot of boomer comments. Anyway, regardless of that, um, it is Bubbles is doing a bit, and as weird as it sounds, it gives me some comfort to see that stuff there, because if you really want to get under my skin, and please don't use this as a, but if you really wanted to, it's the sycophantic, it's the hail Perch kind of like that stuff. I really dislike. I don't know why, it creeps me out. I don't love agreement in that sense. I don't know. It's I don't know why. It always feels disingenuous to me, and I really just want people to, like things they like, not like. I mean, I'm more comfortable with people who are giving me shit than people who are, agreeing with everything I say. I get uncomfortable when people agree with everything I say. So that's kind of that's just me. I'm that's what I prefer. So for what it's worth. Anyway, back to the mail here. It says, one thing though, I wish that more creators would do more to reach out to fans. I got to thinking about your show. If you're able to put out videos from a car, why can't more creators put up a video like once a week just telling them what they're up to? Telling the fans, I guess. Telling them what they're up to. If creators did this, I think it would give people a sense of belonging, like the creators were talking to them, like they're getting the inside track of what was going on in comics, and it would be very successful. A lot of people are really looking for that kind of interaction. It doesn't seem like it would be that hard to pull off, is what's being said. Okay, it doesn't seem like it'd be that hard to pull off, and I think a lot of creators would find it really exciting. What do you think? Okay, so the question here is, why don't creators, make a YouTube channel and just tell people what's on their mind? Well, to be fair, I think a lot of creators are on Twitter, for example, telling us what's on their mind, and in some cases that doesn't work out so well. I do think, though, so here's my perspective. If creators, artists, writers, I mean, let's say you're an artist. If you simply took a phone, put it in a little cradle, put it over your drawing board, hit, time lapse, and then, just videoed you drawing a page for a couple hours, talked over it, basically, I guess it was time lapse. You'd have to do something different for the audio, but basically talk while you draw or anything, some along the lines. There's some audio track, whatever else. And if an artist was basically saying, "Hey, I went to Arby's today and had a terrible meal, and then I came home and then I was drawing, and I like drawing Wolverine, but I don't like this pointy hat, costume bit. I never quite sure what to do with facial hair," and just kind of had that conversation, just kind of casual while they're sketching. People would watch that. It would not make the creator money, meaning you're not going to make thousands and thousands of dollars doing this. And several creators do. I think David Finch does. There's definitely artists who do this. But in many ways, if you resign yourself to the fact as a creator, you're not going to get 50,000 subs, you're not going to get, massive thousands of dollars off this. This is sunk marketing into yourself. You're basically taking this time, you're making it as easy as possible, and it just basically promotes you as kind of a good guy. I think it would be massively successful. I think it would be something people would like. Again, you're not going to get 100,000 subs, 50,000 subs by putting that up there, but you're going to be getting fan loyalty. You're going to be getting people who, as you say in the mail, feel like they know you, or like getting a behind the scenes kind of glimpse of things. People would be into that. They would enjoy it. And so I think it's absolutely the right thing to do, and people should do it. I think that if you're a writer, you can't film yourself drawing, but you can do things along the lines of, I don't know, just tell us a story. Tell us the comics you read. Talk about some of the things that you got inspired by, the movie that you watched, that there was a good plot point you thought would be, really interesting to carry out in a comic one day. I think there's a lot of stuff like that you can do. And I think it would be very successful if you did it. So, but I think a lot of creators, because creators have reached out going, hey, I did a YouTube channel, but I only got a couple thousand subs and nobody really seemed that into it. The trick you'd have to do in your mind is commit to doing this stuff, do it once a week, upload it, turn off the comments. Honestly, or, leaving the comments on would bring a sense of community, but kind of measure yourself. I think that at the beginning, you want this to be as one way as possible. You upload some thoughts, an idea, drawing, whatever it happens to be, and don't get into the interaction right away. Because if you get into the interaction, then you wind up recreating some of what's happened on Twitter. People are going to troll you. You're going to want to troll them back. People are going to want to start talking about Donald Trump, in your timeline. It's going to turn into a bunch of bullshit. You're not going to like that. So do it think about, again, as outbound marketing for you as a creator. Just pure outbound marketing. Take away, hide the subs, or just don't look at it. Don't worry about growth, attention, how it's doing, none of that. Commit to 6 months. So 6 months, 4 videos a month, that's 24 videos of you talking about movies you liked, shows you're watching, comics you're reading, first time you ever met Stan Lee. Just don't worry if you're a good storyteller or not. Just tell stories. Just see what you can do. And I think that is what you'll find is, especially if you do not pay attention to the day-to-day kind of numbers and how things are going, what you'll discover is that 6 months later, you'll have a pretty, hearty little audience, and you'll have this reputation of just being kind of average Joe, normal person who, puts up stuff that, is kind of getting to know the artist, and it will help you. It will help you have a nice natural fan base. It will help with when you're going to do jobs and covers, you're starting to build up a built-in audience. If you decide to do something crowdfunding, you'll have that kind of basis. And more importantly, and don't underestimate the value of this, it helps you just get seen as a normal guy or a normal woman, whatever it happens to be. You start to just get a reputation for being, a professional. It's crazy, right? I think that Twitter is a bad way to do this because it's too hard. You're always going to get caught up in a bunch of Twitter bullshit. If you post something, somebody responds, somebody tweets, somebody at you, other creators get jealous of your shit and they start screwing with you. There's no upside. Twitter, it's designed to fight. Facebook is a little bit better, but honestly, I would go on YouTube. And people already know your face, they know your name, so you don't need to worry about that. If you're a writer, set up a camera, say, do 10 minutes of a story. Don't try and do what Ethan Van Sciver does and say, I'm going to commit to 4 hours of live streams every week. Don't do that. Do the simple thing, just 10 minutes of, hey, I was at a Comic-Con last year and here's something that happened that I thought was kind of fun, or, You know, I was really inspired by the Asgardian Wars and the X-Men New Mutants Annual back in the day. Paul Smith, you know, doing some work with Chris Claremont, pretty damn cool. That was a good comic. Don't even worry about your memory being accurate. Just give us your memory. Give us what you think. Give us this idea, and and put it up there as a writer. If you have advice, you know, throw out your advice. If your advice is, you know, hey, you should read as much as you can because of whatever. If you're an artist, like I said, if hell, if you're a writer, not an artist, film yourself doodling crazy shit, even if you can't really draw. People would like to see that. Absolutely, you're going to get some negativity on there, but just again, the trick is commit to 6 months, one video a week. It's actually quite a bit. 6 times 4, 24. 24 videos. Pretty impressive. And you get a pretty good body of work built up, you know? And just, if any creator wants to reach out, I'll be happy to help you. But go lowbrow, go low tech. You don't need to go as low tech and shitty as this channel. But, you know, if you do, then you could have your very own mumbles who might come and harass you, and then that would be pretty fun too. But get yourself out of the world where you're interacting at the beginning until you just kind of build up, you know, a little bit of a rep. In terms of what it can do for your career, I think it can be huge for your career. I think that my suspicion is that over the next 2 years, creators that do really, really well are going to be ones that are able to stake out a claim that they are just normal people who get their shit done. I think that, you know, my feeling is that the midterms are going to be, you know, batshit crazy. Lots of fighting, lots of polarization, over the top, kind of breathy ads. I mean, Italy got a new prime minister, and you know, she's already being labeled Mussolini and a fascist and all this other kind of stuff. And, you know, we're just getting more and more lunacy. But what it's going to do, as it often does, is it eventually people tip over and they get so exhausted of the drama and the emotional energy of this chaos that they just start to give up. And I think that's a world where people who have a reputation for just not being lunatics starts to really come into play, and you can make a lot of progress. But that's my opinion. Thanks for the mail. Don't worry about mumbles. Good guy. Thanks for listening.